I like the waiting room music as well. I actually haven't figured out how to do that over Zoom. I enjoyed that.
There's actually an advanced, when you hit share, there's an advanced, you hit advanced and then you can just share the audio.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
to incorporate
Yeah,
that moving
I
forward.
figured have a little music just so that people don't think that we are not connected and they don't just leave.
Yeah.
I know sometimes I get connected and you're like, is it working? Is it working?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to do things a little different than some of the others MGAs and people out there. We're
Yeah, I
special.
like that.
We're special at Best Agency.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Jake, you don't have to worry about it. Anyone who comes in, I'll get them on the included immediately. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to meet with us today. And what we're looking to do is offer you guys an alternate distribution. We're going to leverage the technology that Ethos has come to the industry with and help that so that we can give you an alternate distribution for life insurance and hopefully help you get some additional revenue into your insurance business. And that is our goal today, is maybe offer this for you. And I believe, Jake, we will have most, if not all, of the individuals who registered. They will have their links ready by end of day, maybe tomorrow morning at the latest. You'll give us an update during your presentation. But again, thanks, Jake, for joining us today from Ethos. Thank you, every one of you guys. I really appreciate it. We're grateful to have you as part of our advisors here at Best Agency. With that said, I'm going to hand this over to Jake, and you don't no longer have to see my ugly mug.
Thank you, Louis, for the introduction. Again, thank you everyone for being here. My plan for today is really to start off with an overview of Ethos. Who are we? Why are we here? And how does it affect you? From there, we'll move into how do you sign up, which we've really already taken care of on the back end for you. So we'll go into more detail on that in a bit. And then we'll do a demo of the agent portal that's available to you, how to make the most of it, how to take advantage of the resources, and how to get some money in the door. We'll talk a little bit about what the appointment process looks like and the steps you'll take once you start getting policies submitted there. And then we'll have some time at the end for a Q&A, so feel free to fire away. So with that being said, we'll jump right into the slide deck and move forward. So first things first is who is Ethos? Who am I? Who are we? Well, we started Ethos in 2016, initially with an aim to make life insurance simpler. Our initial sales model was direct to consumer, which we still do a little bit of today, but we developed a robust agent platform that enables us to partner with you selling life insurance products, advertising, and referring clients into this platform. So with our simple process, that means no medical exams, affordable pricing, and ideally a product for just about every applicant who wants to apply. We partnered up with top life insurance carriers in the industry to build out several of our own proprietary products and use our own underwriting engine. So what we're left with is ultimately a 10-minute fully digital application that's built to be easy and simple enough for the client to complete on their own. The goal being to broaden the range of affordable life insurance options for families in the past that have been underserved when it comes to getting the coverage that they need. The reason that this came into being is a problem, a hurdle with the traditional life insurance carrier process. So for both clients and agents like yourself alike, there are a lot of hurdles to overcome with the traditional process. For clients, it's the convenience and time of sitting down, filling out a paper application, maybe 20, 30 pages, they're getting longer and longer. The accessibility of products offered to them, because typically with a traditional method, you're applying for one type of policy, you go through the whole process, you go through underwriting, and if you don't get approved for that policy, you get a letter saying, sorry, you're out of luck, try something else. Whereas with us, I'll show you how our algorithm works in a bit, but the whole point is, regardless of who's applying, if they're not a great fit for this option, no problem. We work with 4 different carriers. We're going to route them into an option that they're more likely to get coverage for. So we really want that accessibility of products to all clients. There's also a pretty common misconception of life insurance. So the resources we provide to you can educate customers on really the what's and whys of life insurance, including, what coverage would be best for their type of situation, looking at specific demographics, things like that. And then really the biggest hurdle is that manual and lengthy process that is traditional underwriting, going through a paramed, having a nurse come to the house, taking blood and urine. The longer that sales cycle, as you probably know, the less likely the client is to ultimately activate the coverage. And that causes 2 things. 1, the client ends up without the coverage they need. And 2, you don't get to retain that client. And then on your end, it's the same thing. You're dealing with the same problems of that convenience and time, low conversion because of a long sales cycle. You have to worry about case management and having requirements piecemealed back together. Okay, we got the paramed done. Okay, we got the APS done. Oh, okay, now we need to do an EKG, whatever that is. You spend a lot of time in case management, whereas with this process, we're handling all the case management. It really is as simple as getting the client in the door, getting them into that application, and then you can be hands off if you want. We take over from there, get that client approved, get their policy in their hands. The way we do that is through our personalized system that we've created. As you can see in the slide here, this is an example of what that application process may look like on an iPhone. So we really modernized or set out to modernize life insurance purchasing through this technology. We walk clients through a step-by-step process of getting a personalized quote in about 60 seconds and then completing a life insurance application in 10 minutes, all online, without having to go through a medical exam. They answer a few profile, lifestyle, health-related questions that you typically see on their laptop, tablet, computer, smartphone. And once they fill in their name, phone number, address, that essentially is the first part of the application. They give us the authorization while they're going through the rest of the application for our underwriting engine to pull from over 300,000 data points. So it's a combination of what they're putting into the reflexive questions and the data that we're pulling on the back end, so that by the time they get to the end of the application right here, we are able to give them an offer more times than not by the time we reach the end of that application. Most clients are given the option of buying their coverage that same day, as well as access their account details, policy documents, all through a client administration portal. I'm going to spend some time on this slide because this is important. This is our buy box. This is the process that we go through as the client goes through that application to determine really what product they're going to end up in, what's going to be the best fit for them. So I'll start with this category here. In the good category, we have a prime product that you will probably be using more times than not. It's through Legal in General, or Banner Life as it's commonly known. And more times than not, this is where the client is going to start the application process. They click on the link, which I'll show you how to get here in a minute, that takes them into an application that's tied to you. And this is where the application is going to try and start them, because that's where we have the highest death benefit available, up to $2 million in coverage, ages 20 to 65. Term length 10, 15, 20, 30 years. It's going to be the most cost-effective option, and it's going to be the highest death benefit. And as they're going through the application, answering questions, if it's determined from the data we're pulling, from the questions that they're answering, that, hey, Banner may not approve them for this product, rather than go through a whole application, submit it, go through underwriting, come back and say, sorry, try again, in the background of the application, the algorithm is going to realize that, and it's going to start routing them into the next option down. That next option down is this moderate category. That's our Emeritus term product. Similar term product, same issue ages, 20 to 65, a little bit smaller face amounts, up to 500,000, but 10, 15, 20, 30-year term. And really, clients will be routed this product for a couple of things. One, maybe there's some medical concerns that Banner is a little stingy on, that they may not get approved there. But 2, this product was specifically built around more financial risk. So things like low credit history, bankruptcies, liens, some things on the motor vehicle report, issues like that. That's really what this product was built around, was to cover that type of underwriting demographic. Again, same thing continues to happen. If it's determined that they're not going to be a good fit there, maybe we have some more chronic health concerns, something going on in their past, that's when the client may be routed into this elevated risk category. And we have a couple of options there. We have another Legal in General elevated risk product, and we have a CUNA Mutual Group term product. Specifically, it's True Stage is the name of the company of the carrier that you'll see. That is the life insurance branch of CUNA Mutual. So in this category, they have a couple of options. These are both term products up to 300,000 in coverage, but more so for that elevated risk category with some chronic health history going on. That True Stage policy is up to 300,000 and it's an annual renewable term. So if the client does get into that product, it's term to age 80, annually renewable. Every 5th year, they'll get that option. It's annually renewable, but really it's every 5th year they'll get that option if they want to renew that policy and keep it going with a rate increase every 5th year, typically being around 8 to 10%. That's the True Stage elevated risk product. The legal in general is your traditional 10, 15, 20, or 30-year term insurance product that again is more categorized into that higher risk underwriting demographic. If we still don't qualify for that elevated risk category, we have some pretty serious medical history in the background. That's when the client may be routed to our final expense options. As you can see here, that's about 12% of the policies we see coming through. It's not the main option, but again, the point is that we have something to offer ideally everybody who comes in. So we do have these final expense offerings for more elevated risk or specific demographics of clients that are looking at final expense up to $25,000 in coverage, straightforward, whole life, non-participating. And if they are in that stage of their life, or they have some really severe medical history, something like dialysis, anything along those lines, we offer these products through Senior Life, which is the straightforward, traditional, simplified issue whole life. And True Stage as well has a guaranteed acceptance whole life. So even if unfortunately we don't qualify for anything here, we do have a guaranteed acceptance policy up to 20,000 that the client could still get some coverage with if unfortunately they're not eligible for anything else. So that's the way our buy box works, is we're going to try and get them the best coverage we possibly can. But if they don't qualify, we're going to make sure they at least get something in their hands and get the coverage that they need. This platform for you is completely free of charge. It's personal and customizable, and I'll show you how to customize that here in a minute. You have instant quoting capabilities, instant issuance. It's a self-serve app journey. So really, if you get the client into the application, it's hands off from there. They can just go through the process and get their offer within 10 minutes. It tracks your compensation in real time, and we do offer weekly payouts. So if a policy is activated before a Wednesday of that week, you're going to get paid on the Friday of that week. Now I'm going to shift gears a bit and go into the portal that has been created for you, show you how to take advantage of the resources in there and really how to use it to the best of your ability. First thing is first, most of you have already had your portals created. We created them, got them up and running at the beginning of this webinar. So I won't be upset if you pull out your phones or if you have a monitor and you have another screen. Feel free to hop in right now and see if you can log in. You're going to want to go to agents.ethoslife.com. When you go to that website, it's not going to ask for a username and password. We're just going based off of your email address, phone number. That's what the portal is created off of. So it'll ask to put in either your phone number or email address, whatever you decide. We will send a code to that number or email address, and that's how you log in. Once you're logged in, we're a technology company. We use cookies. You shouldn't have to log in every time. Save it as a bookmark, and as long as you don't manually log yourself out, every time you click that bookmark, it's going to bring you right into your dashboard. And this is what you'll see first and foremost. It brings you to your customers page. This is your primary dashboard. As you can see here with these filters, these are all my customers, meaning quotes and policies that I've sent out. I swear that I am not, I swear that I haven't just tried to write this much business and none of it has gone through. These are actually just demos, so trust me on that. But eventually you'll get to the point where you can see all of this as well. You have the client's name, email address, when the quote was shared, what the quote was for, and then if they go further along in the process, I'll show you what the policy was, what the status of the policy is. But as you can see with me, all these policies have been withdrawn or bailed on because they're demos. Ideally, you will see that these are active and paying. But you can filter that out to make it a little bit more organized. Click on the quotes option and you'll see only the quotes that you sent out. Applications will show you anything that's currently in the pipeline. which, as you can see, I have nothing in the pipeline here. And if you click on policies, that is a quick book of business report, which if you've worked with other carriers in the past in a traditional sense, getting that book of business report can sometimes be a pain. I really enjoy this feature. Just click on the policies tab and you get right then and there a book of business report, which, unlike me, will hopefully show that all of these policies are active and paying rather than bailed. But this is where you can get a quick look at your book. And in the applications tab, it will look similar to this, only it will be policies that are still in the process, meaning that the client has started the application and not finished it, or has not activated that policy. It'll be in that applications tab and it'll show you where it's at in the process. The next thing on this portal I want to show you is really going to be your absolute bread and butter for Ethos. This is what you're going to be using every day as much as you can. And it's this invite clients link right here where the envelope is. If you click invite clients, you'll see a link come up. This link, this URL is personal to you. It is unique to you. It is how we track business coming in to your account, to your compensation. This link leads the clients to your personal landing page, co-branded landing page that we've already created with your portal on your behalf. So take this link, put it in the signature of your email, send it out in a blast, put it on your social media, whatever you can do, put it on your business cards, because anyone who clicks on this link is going to get taken to your personal landing page. So if I click on that link, it'll take to my landing page here. This is my own little personal shop out here in Colorado, Mile High Insurance Solutions. And this is all client facing. It's a client facing website. So from here, the client can either run their own quote or go straight into the application. So the more clicks you get on that, the more applications we're going to get in the door. So put it everywhere you can. If the client wants to, they can scroll through this site. Again, it's all client facing, so they can see how this process works. They can run their own sample quotes here, and it's all in layman's terms to make it easy for the client, like health is excellent, good, average, below average, just generalized quote there. Scroll down, get more information on the rates, the pricing, really what the carrier they're working with is doing, more about who we are, as well as some frequently asked questions. So definitely, I'll say it again and again, get that link out to whoever you can, wherever you can. The more clicks you get, the more applications you get, the more clients get covered. When they click on apply, it takes them straight into that application. If you want to skip a step, you can go into this portal yourself and click apply. And you can see I have my personal code up at the top, my partner code here, FF42, meaning that this application is linked to my account. If you want to skip a step and have the client not even go to your landing page and go straight into the application, no problem. Just copy down this link when you go into the application and send that out instead. It'll bypass the landing page, so a client just goes straight into the application for you. So whatever you prefer. That's the first way to get into the application. The second way is by running a quote and having a client go into the application through the quote that you sent them. So up here on the top left-hand corner, you can see this quoter here. It's your standard quoting box here, put in general information. I'll throw in my info here. I'm out in Colorado. I'll just say that I'm standard across the board, and then I'll click view results. Average. Once I click view results, this is where the quoter is a little bit different from a traditional carrier. Rather than choosing one product to look at, it is giving you everything that client within their age bracket, the risk class you selected, could potentially qualify for. Again, more times than not, you'll see this just standard term life, highest death benefit, most cost-effective coverage. That's more times than not what you're going to be using. So you'll adjust that slider, choose a term length. It brings you to this screen where you can plug in the client's email address, customize the quote for them, plug in your phone number so that they can reach out to you if they'd like, and then click send email. When you send that email, the client is going to receive, I'm downloading the PDF to show you here. This is what the client will receive in their inbox. This is what the quote looks like. It'll have your information up top, the client's information right here, your information here, and then the quote. 10-year life insurance term, 450,000, 27 a month. They click apply, it takes them straight into the application. So those are the two ways to get clients into the application. Send them the link so that they can go through the process on their own, or if you have information on the client ahead of time, you can run a quote on them, send them the quote, and they can go into the application from the quote. What I will say is, because we are a different process, because we're looking at 4 carriers through 6 different products, I recommend only using the quoter if you have a pretty extensive background knowledge on the client. Because if we're quoting at that LGA prime product, best coverage, and the client gets rerouted to the Emeritus product at standard coverage, it can cause a bit of a gap there, a little confusion on what they were quoted versus what they were actually approved for, and that can cause the client to drop off. It's something I've seen quite a bit. So I recommend using that quoter only if we have enough background information to really put together what we think is an accurate quote so that the client doesn't get confused or upset if they're routed to another option. But those are the two ways to get clients into the application. Use the quote or use that invite clients link. The next thing I want to cover on here, once you get into your portal, check out your resources tab. When you click on resources, the first thing that's going to come up is essentially what we're covering in this webinar today. So feel free to peruse through there if you'd like more information, but how to get started, our playbook, which is all our product, underwriting, marketing info, all in one place, your basic information and getting started. But I think it's important to focus on this grow your business tab, because this is really where we excel in helping out. We've already created social media friendly advertisements that you can take, download, put on your own profiles and use for lead generation. So take a look at our sample copy here. You can just view the folder. We have a bunch of these pre-made ads that you can take and download, send in an email blast, put on your social media, whatever you want to do to try and get some more clicks onto your link. Definitely take advantage of that. And then you can scroll through and get, like I said, a ton of resources on this page, lead generation strategies, sales strategies. But what I like to focus on is down here, we do have email and phone prospecting templates. You probably already have your own templates. You have the wording that you use, but if you want to incorporate Ethos into that more, feel free to take a look at these email templates. You can copy them down, put your own twist on it and send it out as a marketing blast, whatever you want to do. We have different emails for different demographics, existing clients, homeowners, parents, first responders, pre-existing conditions, all these different templates. So copy those down, put your own spin on them, include your link in there, your contact info, and send it out. So definitely take a look at that resources section and see everything that we have in there to really help with your prospecting and lead generation. If you haven't done social media marketing in the past, I definitely recommend taking a look. Let's see here. Where is it? Facebook lead generation. This is a step-by-step guide if you've never done a Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn type of marketing campaign on how to put together a marketing campaign with screenshots using social media. So if you haven't done that in the past and you're interested in giving it a shot, definitely check out this Facebook lead generation strategy. It's a step-by-step guide on how to do that. The last thing on the portal that I want to cover is this symbol in the top right-hand corner, that gear, pretty universal sign for settings. Click on that settings tab when you first get in there, and this is where you can customize your co-branded landing page. So you can put a photo on there if you'd like, update your contact information, and then this is also where you'll put in your DBA name. So the agency name is ultimately going to be the top of that hierarchy. It's going to be Best Agency USA. If you have your own shop, if you have your own name you want to put on there, totally fine. Put in a DBA name here, and that's what's going to show up on your quotes and on your co-branded website. So once you get into the portal, definitely take a minute and make sure this information is accurate, customize it however you want, click save, and you're ready to roll. One new thing that Ethos has come up with or acquired is an estate planning service as well. This is completely a value add to your clients. There's nothing that you have to do here, but it's worth mentioning as that value add, like I said, to the clients. We acquired a company called Tomorrow that does all online estate planning services. So every client that has a policy with one of our prime carriers, being LGA, Emeritus, or Senior Life, is going to have access to this on their client portal. This service provides legal will, living trust, power of attorney, medical consent, healthcare directive, all self-serve. The client can scroll through and get any information they'd like and set up these things. And again, nothing you have to do on your end, but a very big value add for clients. So if you have a client that is on the fence about where to do this, whether to not, an additional value add is this estate planning service, where if they were to go outside and do another platform like this, it'd be $450 for a platform like this, $2,500 if they're working with a traditional lawyer. So again, as an additional value add to the clients, make sure and bring up that they do have these estate planning services available through their portal when they get a policy. One thing to point out is any policyholders in South Dakota and Washington, unfortunately, don't qualify for this. This program isn't approved in those states, and it does have to be with either LGA, Emeritus, or Senior Life. Those true stage final expense products do not have this availability. But like I said, bring this up when you can. It's great to get referrals from existing policyholders, re-engage with someone who maybe hasn't moved forward, improve the retention of your clients by adding yet an additional line of business. So definitely take advantage of that as well. So how do you get started? The exciting news is we have already gone ahead and created portals for everybody who registered for this webinar. There are a few of you who actually already had accounts with Ethos. If you are one of those, you'll be getting an email shortly after this webinar with instructions on how to make sure we get you under the right hierarchy and get you under best. But everyone who has attended the webinar does now have a portal created. So go ahead and go to agents.ethoslife.com and get rolling. Go in there and play with your settings, run a quote, get your link, start sending it out. You're ready to roll. If you have any questions, feel free to connect with Damon.Heilman@getethos.com. I'll put that in the chat at the end of this as well. You each have a dedicated one-on-one account manager, and that's going to be Damon. So if you want to take a deeper dive into any of this, run some case design ideas, run some quotes together, go through some ideas on marketing, Damon is your guy, and his job is to be here to help out with that. So definitely reach out to Damon. The appointment process is also very simple. We do a just-in-time appointment process. So you don't have to worry about that until you submit a policy, until a policy really gets activated. You don't have to do this ahead of time unless you want to. But for those of you who use SuranceBay, they have a program called SureLC. You'll just go into SureLC and request an appointment with Ethos. And this is what that's going to look like. Again, you don't have to do this until a policy has been submitted and activated. The client can absolutely go ahead, get coverage, get their policy activated before this appointment. This is really just that last step in making sure we can get you compensated for that activation. So you can go ahead and take care of this ahead of time if you'd like, but there's no need to do that until you have a policy submitted. You'll go into SureLC and select contracting requests, and the carrier that you'll choose is going to be Ethos. And then there is an additional that says Ethos banner. You will have to go through the process twice. That's worth noting because we have different appointments for the different carriers that we work with. So in SureLC, just go to a new carrier and request type, a contracting request, and select Ethos and Ethos banner. Go through your general questions and you'll be good to go there. That'll get sent to us from SureLC. We'll have all your information in the system. So that's really the final step, which again, you don't have to worry about until you get a policy submitted. But once you get that policy submitted, go to SuranceBay, and within SuranceBay is their SureLC program. If you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out to either your account manager, myself, or support@surancebay.com. We'll walk you through that appointment process. So moving forward, your next step, your first step, go to agents.ethoslife.com. I know I've said it about 32 times, but this is time number 33. That's the most important step. Get into that portal, start playing around, get comfortable with it, get familiar with it, get your link and start sending it out, start selling. There is also an additional $100 bonus per policy activated for your first 30 days. So all of your portals were created this morning. So from now through, I don't even know the date today, the 25th, from now through the 25th of September, for every policy you get activated, not only will you get the compensation for that policy, you'll get an additional $100 bonus for every activation, and that is uncapped. So feel free to share and sell away. And then, like I said, reach out to your account manager here, Damon.Heilman@getethos.com. He'll also probably be reaching out to make an introduction and see if he can help out with anything. So if it's more urgent, you really want to dive in and take a deep dive at this portal and the policies and the applications, feel free to reach out to Damon, and he is a fantastic resource for you. That's really everything that we need to cover here. That's everything you need to know about Ethos. So I'll open up the floor now and see if there's any questions.
If you have any questions, you can just unmute your microphone or you can drop it in the chat box and we'll definitely take a look at it for you. Questions? So as far as Sure LC is concerned, for those of you who have access to the Best Agency website, you can click on the contracting link on the left-hand side. It's all single sign-on, so you don't have to get too crazy with it. I think if you're initially getting on, it just asks for your last four of your social, your name, maybe date of birth, and once you log in, you're good to go. And from there, you can request your carriers from there. But keep in mind, if you request a carrier, we won't appoint you until you have a piece of business in-house. So we don't want to inundate Ethos with a ton of contracting if policies are not being sold. Here he goes here. If I am, good afternoon, let's see, we got a couple things. I'm already appointed with Emeritus. How does that affect the Ethos process?
So that doesn't affect the process in any way because of the products that we have with these carriers being proprietary. It's a separate appointment and they're really not related. So one does not impact the other.
Keep in mind, which I think is very important, is Ethos's product with Legal in General, as well as with Emeritus, are proprietary products. They are not the same products that you're probably accustomed to seeing when you're running quotes on Pipeline or whichever system you're using. So premiums are different, underwriting is different. Ethos has great algorithms and a bunch of analytics that are going on behind the scenes, as we've seen in today's session. So keep that in mind when you're looking at these quotes, as well as with the contracting.
Lewis and Jake, thank you. This is Felton.
Hi, Felton.
Just yeah, thank you. Yes,
Yes,
I want to follow up on what your comment you just made, Lewis. The current contract I have, it is proprietary with Emeritus already through a I guess another organization. So I know sometimes when you have appointments, let's say like I do a lot of annuity business, say like with North American and with Midland, but you can have multiple North American contracts versus having multiple contracts like with Midland. So would I in fact be able to have two contracts under that same platform?
Yes. Okay. So we just want to confirm your Emeritus contract you have now is a proprietary contract with another carrier, correct?
With another marketing agency, yes.
With another market, yes. So this Ethos contract should be treated as a separate contract.
Okay.
Not the same, not
Okay.
requiring dual contracting and or releases or mess with your current contract that you have going on.
Okay, yeah. Okay, perfect. Because I don't want to lose accessibility to the current clients I already have.
Sure.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
And here at Best Agency, as some could attest who are on this website, we want to make sure that you are well taken care of as much as possible, even at the loss of business to Best Agency. So we will always do what's right for you, our advisor, our agent. So.
Okay. Okay. Okay, and I guess since I have the floor, I'm sorry, just one more question regarding compensation. That will be on the platform. We can look that up and see how that works with Ethos.
Correct. So if you have any compensation questions, like specifically on the rates, products, feel free to reach out to either your account manager or myself. We can go into more detail.
Perfect.
But then
Okay.
on the platform itself, you can click on this earnings tab. As you can see, apparently I can't close, so I don't have any earnings. But on this earnings tab, it'll also show you any activated policies, any payments that are pending, waiting to come in, and anything that's already been paid.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And when it comes to Ethos, we would stress to reach out to Jake, reach out to Damon, and or reach out to your internal marketer here at the Best Agency. And if we don't know the answer, we will make sure that we get the answer directly from Ethos. Because the one thing I will not tolerate is misinformation giving out from my office.
I tell you, it's ironic. Just last week, I had a client I was working on something with Emeritus, and you guys must be doing a real great job because I had talked to someone at Emeritus, and they channeled me over to your customer service at Ethos, and I was like, wait a minute, why am I over here? And then I started getting the emails, and it kind of all made sense, you know. So, so anyway, yeah, that's what got me interested in kind of really taking a look at it, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Any other questions? Hey, Danny, any other questions that we have for Jake, for Ethos today, or Best Agency? Hey, Danny, I know you're joining late, but we will have this on our website under the videos and resources page once it's available, probably later today or tomorrow morning. So you can take a peek at what was missed a little bit. If there are no other questions, is there anything else you want to add, Jake?
Nope, I think we are in pretty good shape. Again, thank you everybody for joining today. Definitely take advantage of this. Get that link out there as much as you can. Go to your website, start tinkering around, and expect your account manager, Damon, probably within the coming week to reach out and introduce himself. So if you get a call from Ethos, just know that's why. It's my guy, Damon, on my team, reaching out to make an introduction and see what he can do to make your life a bit easier.
Absolutely. Again, once again, thank you, Jake, for joining us today. We're going to be doing this again with another group of individuals shortly. I want to thank everyone who joined us and stayed for the ending of today's session. Extremely grateful to have you working with us this year and hopefully for many years to come. Hopefully you've gained a little bit for an alternative distribution. And if you have any questions, please reach out to Best Agency and/or Ethos. And we want to say thank you for joining us today. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.